Hell no.
Don't play with me, ho. Go play in some traffic. Don't play with me, ho. This shit gon' get graphic. They say that I'm the blueprint, yeah, they call me.
I'm back when I tell you we had so much fun on the most recent episode of the Expression Podcast on Tuesday. Go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression and check it out if you're interested. There is so much to talk about. I mean, I feel like I said in my description, I feel like I closed my eyes one good time. Like I sat my ass down like for a couple of minutes, and as soon as I got back up, the world went crazy. First of all, let's get into it. Let's get into it, bitch. It's ridiculous shit. First of all, there's an entire gas shortage, right? Now, before I even talk about the details of the fucking gas shortage, it is so American to hear that, hey, guess what, guys? There's a shortage of something. It's so American for everybody and their mamas to get out there, go to the gas station, and buy up all the shit. You know what you're supposed to do when a fucking shortage happens? You're supposed to ration that shit out so everybody can have something. These hoes was out here they were putting gas in, it seemed like Glad trash bags or some shit. Look at this shit. Like, bitches had this shit, in their trunks and shit. I'm like, I can only imagine how much of the fire department's gonna have to do with y'all stupid asses. All it takes is one fucking spark. One of you idiots is gonna light a fucking lighter or some shit in the back of y'all car, and it's just gonna go boom like Charlie XCX. Like, wow. It's gonna go boom, clap, the sound of your car going. But if you wanna know why, basically, it seemed like the entire East Coast was short on gas. It seemed like there were long ass lines. I'm telling you, I was in a line, I thought that shit was a turning lane. It was actually the line for a gas station on the corner. Like, I was like, are you serious right now? So the reason why the entire, like I said, it seemed like the entire East Coast was having issues is because this one company called Colonial Pipeline was the target of a ransomware cyber attack. Now they had to shut a lot of operations down in order to deal with that shit. Ransomware is just like, girl, hey, guess what? We're stealing y'all data. We're blocking access to y'all systems unless you pay us. That's what the hackers had to say. Neither Biden nor the company itself really commented on whether they paid the ransom or not. It is absolutely ridiculous. And we already know that infrastructure in this country is horrible. But for one company to be hit and now the entire East Coast is out of here when it comes to gas. Now they're starting that shit back up. But what I'm saying is the way that infrastructure systems are set up in this country, it's so easy to target and get us out of here. I'm telling you, because these private companies, they do not want to go out of their way to improve systems, to make sure things run as efficiently as possible, because that kind of thing costs money. And of course, they don't want to spend that shit. If it cuts into the bottom line, they're not doing that shit. And so entire systems, from power to gas to all that shit, they're set up like this, right? The FBI blamed the attack on a group called DarkSide, which is believed to be based in Russia. However, Biden was saying that based off of the report that the FBI had written up, that he was saying that he does not think that Putin or the Russian government itself was responsible for the attack, even though the group was based in Russia. So that's what's going on. If you see people butt chugging gasoline on the side of the fucking street, it's because there's a shortage, and I guess people interpreted that to mean just go hoard everything so nobody else can have some. I hate it here. I hate it here. This is gonna be real quick. Hopefully, just like her political ambitions, hopefully it's just real quick and it'll be out of here in a minute. Caitlyn Jenner got her ass up on the CNN and she was just like, hey, guess what? She was asked about her qualifications and she sounded exactly like the rest of these politicians. So I guess, as much as everybody dragging her ass, I guess she's gonna fit right in. When asked about her qualifications, my mama said, guess what? I ran a few businesses. I ran a whole lot of businesses. My family run businesses. We got businesses. I got businesses. You got businesses. We got businesses. They got businesses. I got businesses. We got business. Business, bitch. I was like, okay. Wow, oh, bitch, I made a whole lot of money. We sold a whole lot of motherfucking. It's like, wow. Like, I want to drag you so bad, but the thing that I'm really dragging you the most for, because the rest of the politicians who are around you sound exactly like that. Who are you going to be around? Hopefully not, but whatever. Sound exactly just like that. They don't care about the people. They don't give a fuck what you talk about governing, all that shit. Bitch, I have businesses, and that means that I got the money to be in here. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I hate it so much. And the tap dancing layer of it is really the kicker. Like a trans woman really trying to be this token. It's giving tokenism, be this token for these crazy ass Republicans. At the end of the day, Miss Mamas is about her coin, and she's going to do whatever's necessary to protect that shit, you know, and all that rest of the bullshit y'all talking about, social issues and all that shit. Even as a trans woman, it don't matter. She said, I run businesses, and that's why I should run California. Y'all better not vote her in. Y'all better not vote her in. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all better not vote her in. I do not want the Kardashians or the Jenners, none of that. I don't want them anywhere in their government. Anywhere. Now, we all see what has been going on in the Middle East. I think people who don't want to do the labor of critical thinking, people who do not want to do any research, and they just accept the images and shit that they're being fed from mainstream media. I think it's very easy for those kinds of people to both sides, you know what I'm talking about, all lives matter ass, both sides this issue. A lot of people do not want to make the connection between the way that our tax dollars, American tax dollars, literally supports Israel and the oppressive ass tactics that they have been using since forever. I think also a lot of people are accepting the media's image of Palestinians as these like animalistic people, and they don't want to talk about why Palestine and certain groups, as you know, the one that's in charge right now, I don't even know if I can say their name with YouTube, you know what I'm talking about, but like they don't want to take the time to figure out, okay, how did we get to this point? And so when you have people fighting for just their right to fucking exist, their right to their lands, and then you have another country, an oppressor, who's out here employing some of the same tactics that the US loves, you know, I think you have to be realistic and very precise about what is happening. We cannot act like they love to use the word clash. They love to use the word, the conflict is escalating. Okay, why is it escalating? How did it get here? You know what I mean? Why were these groups created? People love to act like, oh yeah, the issue is complicated. Yes, it is a complex issue, especially when you consider there's, you know, political differences in political opinions within Palestine itself, the long history between these two countries. Yes, it is a complex, but we cannot act like people who are standing up for their fucking human rights, their basic rights as human beings, is equal to what Israel has been doing to these people. Just use your fucking brains. And then so like I said, there's a lot of, Andrew Yang got dragged for that shit, talking about he tweeted out some shit, stand with Israel.
Blame Israel for their unjust acts against the innocent Palestinians. Sir, I'm talking to him.
Publicist over here. We got
I'm talking to him.
We gotta go. Don't say anything that's gonna fuck up your campaign. That's why you don't have my vote, and I guarantee you don't have the vote of a lot of New Yorkers.
Sir, I have just one question.
Gal Gadot also got dragged to hell for that shit, because she knew she was going to get dragged for that shit because she turned off the comments. So yeah, like people love to highlight they love to highlight the reactions. That's how bullies work. In my opinion, that's how gaslighters work all the time. They like to highlight your reaction. They're not going to highlight all the socio-political factors that had a part to play in why this bullshit is even happening in the fucking first place. They're not going to talk about all of the issues that led up to certain Palestinians feeling like, hey, this is the only option. This is our only fucking option. They're not going to highlight the fact that, you know, there's a blockade around these people. Basic fucking needs are not met. They're not going to highlight that shit. The U.S. loves colonizers. They team up together to dominate the fucking planet. And that's what you're seeing here. Instead of an honest conversation, you're seeing people, like I said, like Miss Gal over here, refusing to acknowledge what has been done and just saying, oh my God, death is so bad, everybody stop, oh my God, I'm so worried about. No, like we have to sit and look at the cause of these issues and get rid of that shit. And the cause is the fact that it seems like certain countries cannot operate without fucking without running other people over, without running entire peoples and countries over. Like it is how America operates, and that's why it seems like it's, you know, you're speaking against America, or you're speaking against the entirety of people who are living in Israel when you bring up the bullshit that their governments are doing. No girl, we're against the government, we're against governments who are doing this shit. And they love to set it up. They love to try and act like you're being anti-Semitic if you're speaking up against a specific government, a specific country's destructive ass actions and oppressive actions, like kicking people out their own homes, all kinds of shit. And this kind of behavior, we already know, is how a lot of countries that America likes operate. I mean, just another example, it's crazy to me when the US is over here talking about, oh my gosh, what if Russia interfered with our election? Meanwhile, they're overthrowing bitches. They're overthrowing people in different countries. Meanwhile, they're messing with people's elections. So, I mean, Gal and the rest of them girls, they're getting dragged. And I don't know what to say about it other than y'all need to get y'all shit together. I want people to do their research, especially if you catch yourself trying to talk about fucking Palestine. Like, you need to do your research. You need to research the political parties that exist there. You need to research how it got to this point. You need to research the blockade that the Gaza Strip is on. You need to research all that shit before you open your mouth talking about this shit, sounding stupid as hell, siding with an oppressor. And I'm sure people will take arguments like these and say, well, girl, I guess you're okay with all the death and shit that's going on. That is not what I'm saying. But to talk about these things without any context, and to also be a country that's supporting imperialism in other countries, you know, you sitting here in America not even know where the hell your tax dollars going to, you know what I mean? For the media to sensationalize certain images and push them out without any fucking context and history as to what the hell is really going on, without showing you the effects of said oppression for real, it's irresponsible as fuck. Irresponsible as fuck. And these celebrities who touting that shit without doing any research themselves, irresponsible as well too. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember this story about Courtney Stodden. Apparently, the Daily Beast said, if you recall, Courtney Stodden, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right, first made headlines in 2011 when at the age of 16, they wed Doug Hutchinson, a 50-year-old acting coach best known for his sadistic prison guard turn in The Green Mile. Courtney was underage at the time, identifies as non-binary, I think, but their mother signed off on it. So that went on, and of course, during that time, like 10 fucking years ago, like social thought was not how it is now, you know, so she was immediately vilified as the 16-year-old who, you know, obviously was the victim of grooming by this fucking 50-year-old. They dragged the shit out of her, dragged the entire shit out of her, and I guess one of the people who did that shit was Chrissy Teigen. She apparently told her to K-word herself, like messaged her multiple times, DM'd her ass, like it was absolutely ridiculous. The thing that really made it even worse is because Chrissy Teigen has a history of coming after young women, young girls, and it's really weird. It gives me jealous tease, gives me extremely insecure tease. That's what Chrissy Teigen said in her apology. It just came off really fucking corny, especially since she made this whole big ass, you know what I mean, whole big ass spectacle of her leaving Twitter because it's just so hard on her and people just bullying her. Oh my God. I was like, when Chrissy Teigen is not going to leave Twitter for much longer. She needs the attention. She feeds off that shit. And I could never understand why certain people behave in this kind of corny ass way, especially when they be so rich. Like I said, she has been coming after young women, young girls. Remember when Qualifications, Wallace, she was up there, it seemed like the media was giving her ass a hard time. I mean, even for the pronunciation of her fucking name, the media did not like that this young black girl was confident. It was extremely uncomfortable to watch, and I don't know if it was traumatic for her ass, but it was extremely uncomfortable to watch. And then Chrissy Teigen over here talking about, oh, you know, basically alluding to the fact that Qualifications she's cocky and, oh, I don't like kids, blah, 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 blah. It was just like, ma'am, she's a kid, she's a child, and she's being harassed and talked about, ridiculed, her name made fun of in the media. Even as an accomplished ass actress, like, she was still being dragged, and instead of offering fucking support and words of encouragement, her ass was over here saying that she was cocky and she don't like her ass, all type of stupid shit. So it's really, at this point, her baseline, in my opinion. I think that's who she fucking is. That's her personality. We already know she's been corny to me for so long. But also something that really annoys me is like John Legend. Like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? I mean, he stays quiet. Even if you stay quiet, which I think is corny in and of itself. Like, are you really comfortable? I don't know. I just think your personalities have to match in some ways if you walk around confidently with this woman on your arm like it's no shade. Like, what the hell? So, yeah, if you're wondering why Chrissy Teigen was trending, that's exactly why. Because she was being exposed again, and Courtney called her ass hypocritical as fuck, especially because of all this, you know, I'm getting bullied so much on Twitter. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was so bad that Chrissy Teigen had to get her ass out there and apologize. So I just want her to stop talking. I want her to stop tweeting. I want her to stop talking. I really want her off my I want her off my timeline. This story was pretty wild, and I had to come and share it with y'all. Apparently, this store manager named Corey, his store was in Tampa. Apparently, some 77-year-old white guy came in there, called him a racial fucking slur, and Corey punched that man, and that one punch killed him. And that one punch ended that man's life. Now, I'm gonna read some shit from Blavity and also the Tampa Bay Times. The unidentified man who reports state was a regular customer, listen to this, was at the drive-through window in his car, visibly upset at the service. Instead of leaving the premises as he was asked, the man came into the store and began arguing with Corey. According to Corey, the victim was rude prior to their verbal altercation. Corey said he confronted the elderly man after hearing him use a racial slur, only for the victim to then repeat it a second time. So I guess Corey turned into One Punch Man and knocked his ass clean out of the solar system, the universe, you know what I mean? Like, at this point, he whizzing by Wanda and fucking Doctor Strange in the multi-fucking-verse. So for me, you know, let me read this. Corey was arrested and charged for aggravated manslaughter of a person older than 65, a first-degree felony punishable by up to 30 years in prison. I mean, and now he has a public defender, all that kind of shit. I really feel bad for Corey. I just, it's crazy to me. Like I said on Twitter, your old ass, your 77-year-old ass knows that your ass is more brittle than some fucking, you know what I mean, frozen sandpaper, bitch. Like, you know to sit your old ass down somewhere, bitch. If you know that you can be knocked out of the galaxy by one punch and you want to throw racial, just be careful who you throw racial slurs to, my mom. That's it. That's it. And people are just like, oh my God, he kills her. I want y'all to shut the fuck up when it comes to talking to black people, period. But especially black employees, black workers who have to deal with y'all bullshit. You could have just left the premises. Instead, you came and called somebody the N-word, and now your lights are permanently out, bitch. I mean, we won't even accept late payment at this point. He knocked your lights out. He knocked your lights out. People really were trying to be like, oh well, girl, he facing 30 years in prison. Okay, yeah, and I think that's really fucking stupid. Y'all need to shut y'all mouths. But at the same time, he gonna live to tell the tale, baby. What happened to Miss Mamas? Oh yeah, she finna be with the worms and the maggots. That's it. Y'all need to shut y'all mouths when it comes to especially harassing workers who don't have no choice a lot of times but to deal with y'all bullshit. Y'all need to shut y'all fucking mouths. That's it. That's all I got to say on that. I love y'all so much. Make sure you check out my Patreon. Make sure you check out my music, all that good shit. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Baby, make me swear I got no respect. I forget what your name is, but just come give me that wet, give me that. I need that.